The new Evil Dead Rise trailer just dropped today, and something that you may notice is that Sam Raimi isn't directing and Bruce Campbell isn't starring as Ash. So I want to go over what the plot of this movie is, watch the trailer with you guys, and then talk about why Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi aren't in their respective roles that they've been playing for 4 decades now. So starting off, let's go over what the plot of this movie is. It says a twisted tale of 2 estranged sisters whose reunion is cut short by the rise of flesh-possessing demons, thrusting them into a primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish version of family imaginable. It's directed by Lee Cronin, starring Alyssa Sutherland, Lily Sullivan, and Morgan Davies. Lee Cronin's only ever directed one other feature film called The Hole in the Ground, which came out in 2019 to mixed reviews. Other than the feature film, he's directed a couple of TV series episodes and a few short films which have gone on to win several awards. And Evil Dead Rise is starring Alyssa Sutherland, who, if you don't know, played Princess Oslog in the show Vikings. That was her breakout role and what she's best known for. But she was also in the TV show adaptation of the movie The Mist back in 2017, and if you don't know, was also in The Devil Wears Prada. So she's been around for quite some time, and she has proven herself to be a really great actress. And judging from the first look photos that they released a week or two ago, it looks like she's going to play a pretty scary character in this upcoming movie. But going into Bruce Campbell and why he's not playing Ash anymore. Now, if you don't know, Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi have been working together since the late 70s. Sam Raimi's first feature film was a college film that he made with his friends and with Bruce Campbell called It's Murder in 1977. This is an amateur film. He directed, he wrote it, he produced it. Bruce Campbell was on set, so he was also doing a lot of the work with him. And when they eventually got enough funding for their first feature film, they made The Evil Dead together in 1981. But apparently it wasn't the most fun thing to make at the time. Bruce Campbell is quoted saying, "From the beginning to the end, they were all low points. You were in a cabin that had not been occupied in decades and had no power or running water. No sewage, no nothing. It was kind of like camping out for 12 weeks, but meanwhile you're trying to do a movie. There wasn't much acting required. You were cold, you were miserable, you were covered in blood. Some actors had to run around in circles, do push-ups, slap yourself in the face to get ready. We were all miserable all day long. We were good to go." He says we're good to go at the end because it was a horror movie and you were supposed to look miserable the whole time. So I guess it added to it a bit, but it doesn't seem like it was the most fun time. But since that movie was such a success, they were able to film The Evil Dead 2 and get much more funding for that movie, which was another hit, and that came out 6 years later, so 1987. There was a 5-year gap, and then Evil Dead 3 came out. But Evil Dead 3 was called Army of Darkness, and this is when Ash gets sent back to medieval times in his car, and all hell breaks loose in medieval times where skeletons are rising from the dead, and Ash has to stop the Deadites from attacking this castle that he's in. Then if we fast forward all the way to 2015, Bruce Campbell stars in a show called Ash vs. Evil Dead, which was developed and created by Sam and his brother Ivan Raimi. So Bruce Campbell's been Ash for 4 decades at this point, but for some reason, he's not going to be in this one, and Sam Raimi isn't going to be directing this movie. Bruce Campbell made a statement about why he's not playing Ash anymore. He says, "I'm done playing Ash, so that determines a lot of where we go with the franchise about that character. But there are more stories. We're doing it book-focused these days. That darn book gets around, and that's how we play it. That book wound up in an urban environment with a single mom, so let's see what happens." So that's referring to Evil Dead Rises. And from that statement, it sounds like he's going to be turning it more into an anthology series with Sam Raimi, where the Book of the Dead is going to end up in all these crazy environments and start affecting the people around them, bringing Deadites to these different situations. He also says it's fun to fiddle with. There's not going to be any traditional form of Evil Dead anymore. Ash is gone. I've retired the character because I physically just can't do him anymore. So why bother? It's time to hang up the chainsaw. But we're still filmmakers, we're still producers, we're still creative type dudes. So we were like, how do we keep going otherwise? Sam Raimi handpicked Fede Alvarez to do the remake a few years ago. That was a remake of The Evil Dead in 2013. So this was 2 years before Ash vs. Evil Dead came out. He handpicked Lee Cronin for this one, Evil Dead Rises. These are Sam Raimi proteges that we hope will do a good job. And if you haven't seen the remake, it is another really scary movie that received pretty good reviews for the horror movie genre. So according to Bruce Campbell himself, Ash is basically gone. Evil Dead, in how we've known it for 4 decades now, is no longer. So I think that's going to open up a lot of opportunities for what Evil Dead could be in the future and what it means for the horror genre as a whole. Now, I only recently saw the Evil Dead franchise. I saw 1, 2, and 3 back to back to back about a year ago. And it was so good. Bruce Campbell is made for that role, and he really turns himself into that character. And I'm glad that they're not going to just recast Ash as someone else, because Bruce Campbell is Ash at the end of the day. And while Sam Raimi's not directing Evil Dead anymore, he is going to be an executive producer on set, as well as Bruce Campbell. I'm thrilled to bring Evil Dead back to its original home at New Line 40 years after the release of the first film. This company's history as pioneers of horror speaks for itself. I'm equally excited to be working with Lee Cronin, whose gifts as a storyteller make him the ideal filmmaker to continue the enduring legacy of this franchise. At its core, Evil Dead is about ordinary people overcoming extraordinarily terrifying situations. I can't wait for Alyssa and Lily to fill the blood-soaked shoes of those who have come before them and carry on that tradition. So with all that being said, everyone seems really excited to be working on this movie, and it seems like there's a lot of heart going into it. So I'm excited to watch this trailer and see how good it's going to turn out.
What's up, sis?
How did they make it scary?
I had the most beautiful dream. It was the perfect day. And all I could think about was how much I wanted to cut you all open and then climb inside your bodies.
Oh my
so that
god.
we could stay one happy family.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother,
What is this, Danny?
There it is.
I found it.
what
Here's the book.
will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me.
Open up now.
You don't look so good, Mom.
Nothing a big old kiss from you won't fix.
Oh my god, this looks horrifying.
I'm getting us out of here.
Oh my
I promise.
god.
You'd be a good mom someday, honey bath.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you know how to lie to kids.
Dude, I knew that was gonna happen too.
Mom?
Mommy's with the maggots now.
Oh no. You know, with Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi not directing and starring in it, I'm glad that they're producing it. I'm glad that they're still a big part of it and that they're going to be behind the scenes, behind the camera, making sure that it's as scary and as Evil Dead-y as it could be. That's going to be such a good movie. I'm really excited for it. It says that it comes out April 21st. I can't wait for April 21st. That's going to be such a good movie. Well, we just saw the trailer. I just gave you all the news about Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi. What are your thoughts on Sam Raimi not directing it? What are your thoughts on Bruce Campbell not starring in it and not being Ash anymore? And what do you think about this movie? I'm definitely going to watch it the night it opens. I'm so excited for it. I'm excited to know what you guys think. Let me know. Talk to you later. Bye.